Hey everybody. So I haven't filmed that much recently just because I got really busy and just wasn't able to film. So I have a couple videos coming up here that I'm pretty excited about, some book reviews and some book tags, especially because I've been tagged in, I believe, 3 different things recently. So those will be coming up shortly. But I also went to the bookstore recently because I got my second vaccine shot, and I was by that same Barnes & Noble that I was at last time, a couple weeks ago, so 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. So now let's do another book haul. And this came just in time, so I actually have an arc of this, but now I can finally display my physical copy of Shadow of the Gods in this beautiful hardcover. So this is great because I wanted to display this, and I've had this pre-ordered for months now, especially like since I got the arc. I didn't want to not purchase it also. So now I can put that beautiful Shadow of the Gods up here with John Gwynne when I reorganize this and put all of his stuff next to each other, and that will absolutely be facing out. If you haven't read this already, I have a discussion up on Petrick's channel, Philip's channel. I'll have it linked down below. It's either Petrick or Philip. I think it was Philip's channel, where we talked about Shadow of the Gods. It's on Philip's channel. So we talked about Shadow of the Gods, spoiler-free for a couple minutes, and then full spoilers with me, Petrick, Philip, Sarah Reeds, and Jimmy, as well as the brothers Gwynne. So that was a lot of fun. I love all these collaborations around John Gwynne's work. It's been tons of fun to film these. And of course, I have a full spoiler-free review of that on my channel here as well. And this is just another fantastic John Gwynne book. I absolutely love his characters. I love his action. This was a smaller scope story, but I definitely see how this is going to expand beyond book 1. And it felt like a love story to Norse mythology. This was really something that he wanted to write, that he's had sort of brewing for a while. It felt like his most intimate storylines, and I loved it. So definitely check out the review, the discussion, and the book if you haven't already. Next up, because I wanted to mix in some more sci-fi too, so I picked up a wonderful classic here in 2001, A Space Odyssey, and I did go for the mass market this time simply because I don't love buying really short sci-fi paperbacks that they charge damn near hardcover price for when they're like $18. Not that I don't like supporting the authors and things like that. It's just when I see a shorter, I'm like, this, for example, is just under 300 pages in this mass market, which, I mean, there's not a lot of text on the pages. So it was only like a 200 or so page paperback, and I've seen even shorter ones, like I've talked about it before, like the Asimov books and stuff that are basically novellas length, and they charge full price for them. I'd rather get the mass market for those. It was a film a while back, and this was actually based on the screenplay for that film. So I'm excited to see what the book has to offer, because there's always a difference between the book and the movie. So definitely excited to read that one at some point. Next up, I did want to add to my Discworld collection, and I'm gonna have to order a lot of these because I cannot find sequential books at the bookstore. They almost always have the same selection of Discworld books. It's usually the first and maybe the second book of like each sort of series within Discworld. So I picked up Equal Rights. I think I actually have this on my Kindle as well. I have several of them on my Kindle, but I do want to collect them physically. And again, I've mentioned before, this is something I'm happily going to collect in mass market because there's like 43 books or whatever it is. So I believe Equal Rights is about witches and wizards, right? Yes. So I don't know what to expect from this one. I've heard these ones aren't quite as good as like Guards and the Watch books or the Death books or some of the other series, but I've got now this Small Gods, and I did find Reaper Man a while back, so I picked that up. But again, I have like book 1 of a bunch of different series within Discworld, so I'm kind of like trying them out, and then I'm definitely going to continue the Watch books and Death though, because those were fantastic and I want to continue those. Next up though, I did pick up, because this just looked and sounded pretty interesting, Sleeping Gods. So I don't know too much about this. It's Sylvain Nouville, I believe is how you say it. But basically it's, reminiscent of The Martian and World War Z. Those are 2 very different things. The Martian it's a solo guy on Mars trying to survive and using science to survive. And World War Z has a lot of it's post-apocalyptic, and it's a bunch of different people telling you how they survived the zombie apocalypse, and it's like interview style. So I'm guessing that just based on a quick skim of this, it looks like there's some like interview style stuff in here. So maybe that's why. Maybe that actually does make sense. So I don't know. It is a quote from Pierce Brown though, so I trust Pierce Brown because I love that man. But yeah, this definitely sounds pretty interesting. I mean, girl named Rose is riding her bike and falls through the earth and into the hand of a giant metal hand. That sounded weird. Into the palm of a giant metal hand. So that's bizarre, and I don't really know what to expect, but that seems pretty cool, and I've heard good things about it, so I'm definitely looking forward to that one. Next up, I picked up the Bard's Tale because this I've seen this quite a few times, and it looked and sounded pretty interesting. I don't actually know a lot about it, but I do know that Patrick speaks very, very highly of this one, which I know he does that for a lot of things, except Wheel of Time for some reason. I'm definitely looking forward to this. I don't know, it just sounds like a good classic sort of fantastical fantasy story. I mean, of course, take all these with a grain of salt, but you're saying you have elements of James Islington's The Shadow of What Was Lost, Patrick Rothfuss's Name of the Wind, and Anderson's own Behind the Veil. So I don't know, definitely looking forward to reading this one. I actually really like the cover art. I like this little like shadow cloud monster image that's here. It looks pretty cool. And finally, not that I am to these books yet, as I am only on White Knight, so I have a few to go, but you can't pass up the Dresden hardcovers when they're in the store, and they were discounted. This was 50% off. This was 20% off, and the Barnes & Noble discount that I have gets me 10% off or whatever it is. So I know I'm going to read all the Dresden books. I might as well just collect the hardcovers that exist right now for the ones that are out. I don't think I'm going to go back and buy all of them hardcover. I do love those Orbit editions that I've been buying because they just look awesome. I love the silhouette of Dresden across all of them, so that looks fantastic. But it's a Dresden book. They've all been pretty damn good. They seem to be getting better and better, and I'm really excited to get the Battleground because I hear this is the one that completely kills the series for quite a few people, and other people say they love it and that it's great and there's nothing wrong with it. But I remember coming across, I want to say it was in one of my Goodreads videos of like 1-star reviews where somebody retroactively gave the entire series 1 star because of Battleground. That's how much they hated it. So I don't know, man. We'll see what happens there. But I'm pretty confident that Jim Butcher is going to appease me with the rest of the series. I love Dresden so much, and Proven Guilty was my favorite. I'm excited to continue, and we'll see what happens when I get to Battleground. Maybe I'll be the guy on Goodreads going, F this entire series, how dare he? But we'll see when we get there. But that's going to wrap up what I bought recently. It wasn't too bad, actually. Some stuff was on sale. You get a discount Barnes & Noble member, so I spent like $85 on these 6 books, and 2 of them were hardcovers, so pretty sweet. But yeah, that's going to do it for the book haul, guys. Like and subscribe. As always, do hit up Patreon if you want to support the channel financially and what I do here, and help me buy some books, because I love doing that. It's a lot of fun. Definitely always optional, but always greatly appreciated. I do want to see you in Discord, though, or leaving me a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on anything that I bought here, anything you bought recently. I'd love to hear what you're excited to read. So until next time, guys, keep reading.